Hi folks, I'm Aleks U and you are awesome. Today's topic of this 15-minute conversation or a video that we're gonna have here is, does your ego travel with you anywhere you go? Now I've got these beautiful Ambrosia organic apples. They're very common here in Canada anyways. And many apples nowadays, many types of apples that they sell in the stores may not smell strong, but if you find some good, especially organic apples, they still smell like this nice, and these are sweet, crispy, sweet kind of apples, so this nice crisp smell. And the reason I use them is so that it brings me right back in the present moment, because the act of smelling actually stops the chatterbox for even a moment. It's still enough to bring you down to the present moment. So now, I'm gonna put these apples away, the timer is on, and we're gonna have a few minutes here to talk about that interesting topic, because when you travel, actually, there are a lot of, what do we say, moments, or let's just go with, it's a good exercise, traveling, if you are aware and present, to actually get some pointers, get some good experiences in good moments where you can go aha, right? It's traveling forces you out of your let's call it physical comfort zone sometimes. It depends on the type of travel, or it could be a vacation. But regardless, there's different things that you're gonna be doing, right? You need to at least pack, go to the airport if it's flying, or pack your car, start driving. They're things that you don't do on a daily basis. It's gonna push you out of your routine, and through that, the whole journey and the whole experience of traveling and back, there are gonna be moments that are gonna be gifts. That's the word I was looking for. They're gonna be gifts to gifts for you, to give you some aha moments or some wake up moments, and some learning moments, right? Often vacations and traveling are not seen that way. Like, you don't go, oh, I'm gonna go to Mexico, which is just where we went with my wife, visiting some amazing folks there. If Eddie and Lily, if you're watching. But when you say to a warm destination or whatever it is, you don't go, oh, I'm gonna go and it's gonna be, I'm gonna spiritually get elevated, unless it's this purpose of a trip where you're going to a retreat with a specific purpose of a spiritual retreat. Other than that, the majority of trips are not like that, so you don't go there. But in my honest, personal, and rich experience, traveling are amazing teachers. A lot of gifts, like I said, gifts as in present moment gifts, where you can question, you can maybe have a bit of a wake up crisps and chisps. Let's just call them that way. But the question is, what happens? Why does it happen? Does your ego travel with you? Does your ego change when you travel? Maybe that's even a better way to name this. Does the ego change when you travel, right? And does it come with you? What can I notice when I travel about my ego, about the self, right? So let's take a look at it. The purpose of a travel, let's say, is leisure, right? I'm going on vacation, I'm going to maybe a resort or even a friend's place, but the purpose is, there's no work related, there's no tourist trips and museums and sightseeing. The whole purpose is resting, could be laying down on the beach or wherever it is, but there's no goals besides I wanna relax, let go, right? If that's the purpose of the trip. Now, it's interesting because we have created a life where we need to go and have a moment to relax and rest. But the truth is, the ego comes with us, like pretty much, unless you're super alert, aware, and present when you go travel, it'll come with you. So often, in my switch speed, in my switch density, but it's going to keep nagging you while you're traveling on the plane. You're gonna figure out a bunch of reasons to create conversations in your mind about. When you're there, if the ego isn't checked, it's going to continue with you. It's going to change the vocabulary maybe, and the reasons it complains, and the reasons it nags you, but it's still underneath there, and it's ready to start punching with the big gloves, right? The chatterbox, the ego, the yourself, right? And ruin your vacation. How do we know that? It's very common to see people that are on wonderful holidays that I've been to that complain about a bunch of things, from the pillow in their hotel room, to the food, to the bus ride, to the airplane that was late 5-10 minutes, to the person that was sitting next to us on the airplane, and they are subtle things. Like if you actually pay attention to your ego, you're gonna find it talking and complaining about every little single thing throughout the trip, every single trip, right? And so yes, the ego, full power, will travel with you unless you, this beautiful being, have this moment and I don't want to say it realization, but even an agreement. They say, wait a minute, like the being, I am going on holiday because I want to immerse myself with all the experiences. So regardless of the plane, the person next to me, the bus ride, the hotel, this, whatever it is that's happening, I want to take it all in. I want to experience it, open myself to these wonderful experiences, and they can only be felt whatever they are. Oh, it's dirty, it's noisy, oh, I didn't the right room, I mean, why did we pick this place, and my husband and my wife and oh, my uncle, and they went, and they, like, it's endless how the many ways the ego will use to ruin your holiday, right? Or vacation or trip, whatever it is, right? And so if you want to be on a holiday, a true present moment vacation, you need to, like, it's a preparation and it's work, right? Because the ego's got, like I said, the big gloves, and yes, it has an advantage because it's that story that we've bought in and we don't even question it most of the time. So it has an advantage of being there already. But you, the being you, because you, the main reason the ego exists in us is because we allow it, we believe in it, and we bought in it, right? That's the foundation. Without that belief from me that my ego, myself, is real, then it's not here, it's gone. And the conversation in your head, it's gone with it, with this commitment and resolve, meaning, hey, I'm firing you, gone, right? There's no ego. I am a being, not a thought processes, right? I own my thought, my mind, as in generating thoughts. It comes from present moment, right? Anyways, so coming back to the wonderful experience that you have and holiday, they like and here we're not involving alcohol and strong adventure, like adrenaline adventures, because if you involve that, I shouldn't say most, but many people, when you go on holiday, resting holiday, involve alcohol or other substances. And I don't know if it's many, I see it as many, because when I go, that's what's happening. There's a lot of drinking. But and so that's a shortcut to kind of let go of the self and being present, right? But it doesn't last long, and it's almost never it's never really authentic present moment, right? It's kind of forced with this substance. Or if you're going on adrenaline, you do a bungee jump, or you go driving some all wheels in the jungle, or whatever, something that has more adrenaline, that can also bring you to the present moment. But again, when the adventure is over, typically it doesn't last long, right? But working on it and having this beautiful time with yourself before the trip and during the trip, focusing on the trip is about being present, and I will be here now. However much the mind calls me into thinking, explaining, challenging, comparing, nagging, all this that draws us in to stay in the mind, I'm gonna say no. I'm on a holiday, I'm gonna leave you here, right? The ego, and I'm gonna go be. You'll be, don't worry, it's gonna be there. right? Like it won't go away. The ego is not, it's relentless. It's staying in and having you believe it's you. But just for a moment, for this 1 week, 3 days, 10 days, whatever it is, you make that commitment with yourself, because it is you who has that power to give you the taste of this power that you have, to let go of this insatiably painful, drama rich self that we buy into, right? And it is a shortcut, or it is a wonderful opportunity to do it when you're traveling, when you vacation, to let go as in fire the ego temporarily, just to taste of it, and say, okay, no matter what it is, no matter what happens, no matter what actually displays as I am being in my vacation, I'm going to allow it to be. And I make a commitment with myself that my purpose is not going to be processed through my mind, but to allow the experience to be felt by the being that I am, to absorb it totally and completely, not through a miniature set ego self, but through a big allowing self, right? I allow it because the purpose of my vacation and holiday is to be, and that's where the joy comes from. When I am in my holiday, I allow everything to happen, and then I have the opportunity to experience it, whatever it is. If it's that dirty old van that gave you a lift from the airport to the place that you're staying, and this just comes to mind as one example, then experience it. It might be the only time you ever been in a van like this. How does it sound? What does it smell like? Like what? And what's the experience being in it? What are the sounds? What is the driver? What does he do? What is his day? Like what? Feel it. Feel who else is in this van, and know that this being, this experience, is as powerful and as rich as they can be, because it's an experience that you are allowing to be. Right? This is powerful, right? You are the experiencer. You give power to the experience, not the experience to you, allowing it to be. Previously, the ego, because it sees everything outside of it, and me little thing, and I judge everything through my lenses, these ego lenses, it's always going to find 100 reasons to talk about what's happening, right? And it's always usually, not usually, I can say it, even if it's pretending it's a positive conversation, it's never really is. There's an agenda. So it's always some sort of a negative experience about it, right? Like, even if you're just describing it, right? It isn't experiencing it as what it is, right? And so when you get to the hotel, and whatever else happens to you, that way you allow the trip to happen to you. You're allowing it. And that's the power of being. You're allowing it to be. You can also say you're becoming the trip. You're becoming the vacation, the holiday, the adventure, the whatever it is that you're doing. That is a way, basically the only way to fully be, to fully experience whatever you're going on without the ego. Otherwise, I can assure you, the ego not only is gonna come, it's gonna wanna take first role of your experience. And believe me, and you yourself have seen trips, have seen other, it's easy to see the ego acting in another beautiful being, right? Because if you're present, you can experience this happening, and it's the same thing that happens in you. It will ruin everything, not only the trip, every part of your life. The ego will, the agenda is to keep trying to make you believe it's there, and the way it does it is by this constant conversation that the self takes center place, right? The imaginary illusionary self that the ego makes us believe it's us, right? The center stage, and everything is happening to it. But this time you're not gonna do it. This time you're gonna leave the ego behind. Just like you're leaving the place where you reside, you say, oh, I'm gonna leave you right here, and you're not coming with me because I'm going on holiday and I'm going to be present, which does not require a single thought from you. Being present does not require conversations. In fact, it's the opposite of conversations in your mind, I mean, right? There's no mental experience. It's all being experience, right? And traveling is a wonderful way to experience what that means. Not to process life through thought, but to process life the only way that life actually is. Because life doesn't happen because you think about it. Life happens, period. It's the truth. You are, and life is. And that will never change because it's true. The ego, as you can attest to yourself, right? It changes every second, from one thought to one story to another story to this, that, this. How can you find any truth in it when it's total illusions that, yes, they might seem somewhat real to you because you've repeated them in your head for the last 30, 50 years or however long you've been you beautiful being on this planet. But don't make them true. They're not true. They're your truth that you bought into it, or my truth that I buy into it, but they're not true. And so they will, what? Easily disappear when you decide that they're no more. Now, maybe drop me a line and tell me where have you been lately and where are you planning to go, and have you managed or will you try to actually let it behind, because you will travel with you, I'm telling you. It will try to ruin every little bit of your holiday that you have planned by yourself or with wonderful human beings with you. But I honestly, wholeheartedly, really wish for you and hope for you that you're gonna make that step and you're gonna let it behind and you're gonna have a fantastic present moment, unaltered, true experience, egoless experience of whatever place you find yourself to be. Now, these were 15 minutes. We got, it's 17 minutes. We got the apples here. I'm gonna continue by eating one of them. And I hope you have a fantastic, wherever you are, day, night, evening in front of you. Until next time, and until then, a lot less ego and a lot more joy. Bye.